Welcome to a noble society of young urban entrepreneurs sharing knowledge and building wealth. Welcome to the League of Hustlers.
The hustle is in your bones. It runs through your veins. It's that ambition to do more, become more. You can feel it. You know you have what it takes. You know you can build a life you've been dreaming of. It's time you live up to your potential. Welcome to the League of Hustlers.
Welcome back to the League of Hustlers. I'm your co-host, CD Barnes.
I'm HT.
We are the League of Hustlers. We have another great episode for you, and we brought good company. Today, we have Tai Cochran of A.S.K Academy, the founder and CEO of A.S.K Academy. All right, we're talking about PMP certified, masters in information systems, masters in organizational leadership, PMP certified. We brought you the best is what I'm telling you.
The best of the best.
Best of the best. We're going to get into what is leadership, how you can apply it to what you're doing, some of the projects that you're working on, and just how to be better at it. Because that's basically what we're all about, sharing knowledge and building wealth to be better at whatever it is we're doing. So, with that being said, Tai, welcome to the show.
Thank you. I don't know how to move past that introduction. Thank you.
Tell us a little bit about A.S.K Academy, break down the acronym, of course, tell us how it got started, where is it going, what's the future for A.S.K Academy? Fill us in.
Oh, man. So A.S.K Academy kind of came about 3 years ago, 2017. A.S.K stands for Always Seek Knowledge. I've always been that person who has wanted to just like soak up everything that I could know about knowledge. But if you don't pass your knowledge out, right? Like what good is it doing inside of your head? So the whole thing with A.S.K Academy is to spread the knowledge, spread the wealth. So I do have my PMP certification. And so what I'm trying to do with A.S.K Academy is bridge the gap between project management and leadership. Because in order to lead a project, in order to manage a project, you have to be a good leader. You are bringing in a lot of different skill sets, a lot of different people. Most of the time, these people do not directly report to you. So you have to build your team up. You have to make them want to do the work. You have to put that spark and that vision inside of them to do that work. So I want to teach people how to be good leaders, how to treat others as they want to be treated, because that was one of the things I always noticed on projects. The project leaders, they would get so caught up in the work that they would forget about the people who had to do the work. They can't do everything as a project manager or as a project leader. So you have to be able to work with these people. You have to practice emotional intelligence so that you can be self-aware of your own feelings and then aware of other people's feelings as well, so that you can get the project produced successfully.
And what we're talking about, ladies and gentlemen, isn't lightweight. Like I had this misconception of project management, like in my younger days, of thinking of it like, oh yeah, I can manage a project. Like I know how to da. But this is an actual science, and it can be really, you can go really in depth with it. And having your PMP is a major thing. Like that certification, the project management. What's the P stand for?
So project management professional.
Professional, right. Yeah. Certification is a major thing. Like not everyone has it. Not everyone can pass the exam. So to have someone on who has passed it and who's actively working and has actively worked in several project management roles is something that we should be paying attention to. So with that being said, what do you think is the hardest part about being a good leader on different projects? What have you found that presents the most challenges, and what have you heard from other folks that presents the most challenges?
Oh, that's a good question. So I would I would say personally, what presents the most challenges for me is just learning everyone's personality on your team. Um, so I think for me personally, if you are a good leader, like you want to try to make sure that you have to be adaptable, right? So it's a whole bunch of different leadership styles. So at my core, I'm a servant leader, which means that I'm all about the people. Like I want them to have autonomy. Like I don't like to micromanage and things like that. Some people you have to micromanage because that's just their style. But overall, I'm a servant leader at my core. However, I have learned that I have to be a little bit more adaptable to situations, right? So when you are more of an adaptable leader, it kind of helps you in every situation under pressure, which a lot of times you are, dealing with people, dealing with CEOs, dealing with, your upper management, dealing with your executive stakeholders. You have to be more adaptable. You have to know who you're speaking to, and you have to know that very quickly. So you have to know your audience. So you have to know that, hey, today I'm going in, I'm speaking with, the employees who are actually going to be using this system. So they need more details. But then tomorrow I'm going in and I'm talking to my executive stakeholders who have the money, who hold the coins. They don't need all that. They need to know very quickly, is the project in red, is it in yellow, or is it in green? If it's in red or yellow, why is it, in these different holding patterns, and how can we get it out? So you need to know very quickly who you're dealing with, those stakeholders. So for me, that's the hardest part, is trying to get in there very quickly and know who you're dealing with, and learning how to work with them effectively.
Right. So, and then too, like we were just talking before we actually got started, we were kind of pre-gaming a little bit, and we brought up that basically everything is a project. So if you're an entrepreneur and, maybe you're on your own, and it's your own personal project, but it's still a project. And even if you're a team of one at the moment, you still have to have some leadership skills just to get the project going. Another thing too is there's this kind of buzz of being a boss and being a CEO and starting a company. But I don't know if that's necessarily the way, or, I get it, but what's the difference between a boss and a leader?
So that's definitely one of my mantras, is be a leader and not a boss, right? So a leader, again, is that visionary. It's that person who cares about other people. They are results oriented. They're strategic. So you're not, and when you're a boss or when you're a man, it's not bad, because we need all of these people at different levels. Being a boss, being a manager, not a bad thing. However, when you get more into the management or the operation side of it, you have to be in the weeds. And a leader has to be, kind of like that eagle soaring over the top and taking a look at everything. But a boss, they're pounding, they're not understanding, like I said, that emotional intelligence, that EQ, that emotional quotient. They say that that's more important than the IQ when you're dealing with people, because that way, like I said, yourself, and then you are learning others. So when you're a boss, you're not really trying to learn those things. And being a boss is not bad. But being a leader, you're just more focused, you're more strategic. Like I said, you're more, you want that collaboration with your team, so you want those people to get out and talk. You want to give them autonomy to be able to do their work. You want to trust them. You want to build that trust. You want to spark that vision. So here's the vision. Here's the organizational vision. So let's take this organizational vision and let's make this organization way, so much better. I think one of the things that people don't understand within organizations, that you can be an entrepreneur inside an organization. You don't have to just be Yeah, you don't have to be an entrepreneur and have your own business to be a boss.
And we call it like intrapreneur, right?
Entrepreneur. There you go. You can be an entrepreneur. You can make things happen. You can spark ideas, and you can build a company up. And people will respect you for that. So
yeah, and that I think you're touching on a really good point. For a while, I used to have this thing against like bosses. You know what I mean? Like, oh, I'm a boss. I'm a boss. It's like, people were using more as, like bragging rights. Like, come on. Like, but to your point, that's a very good point. I think that you're making is you need bosses in certain situations, but you also need leaders. You need that eagle, but at the same time, that eagle that's soaring, sometimes that mug swoops down, right? and intervenes. But with that being said, what are the different leadership styles, right? So, because I think you mentioned what you mentioned earlier a few minutes ago.
So you have servant leadership, you have adaptable leaders. So I have my little PowerPoint slide up, but I'm gonna go through like a couple for you.
Yeah.
So you have your laissez-faire. I think it's like a French word for more of a hands off. So my country accent, I don't say it correctly.
Say it again.
I'm not gonna say it again.
Don't let me try to say it either.
Well, that type of leader is more like a hands-off type of leader. They allow the team to like establish their own goals. So it doesn't mean that they're lazy in any type of way. They just allow their team to get out there and do that work. And again, that's what it's about. It's allowing other people. So to me, the greatest leaders create great leaders, So it's like that whole thing about creating other people. That's another trait of a good leader. Then you have a transactional leader who pretty much they're focused on the goals, they're focused on rewards. So when you think about this, just to break it down in simple terms, you can think about like your kids and you. So sometimes you have to like kind of bribe your kids, right? So if you do this, if you go up here and wash these dishes, then I'll give you $5. So that's what a transactional leader is. So they are more focused on the reward system. Good thing still, because you need reward. Everybody needs a reward. Everybody needs to know, hey, pat on the back, you did a wonderful job. Let's keep pushing, because at the end of the day, if you don't have that, what's going to happen? You're going to burn out. Your team is going to burn out, and y'all are not going to be able to produce results, for your project. But that's what a transactional leader is. Then you have what I said I identify with, the servant leader. Their commitment is to serve and put others first. They like to focus on growing others, mentoring others, developing others, and just the well-being, like the mental well-being. Because again, coming from an environment in technology, that's fast-paced. It's a lot of stress. And if nobody is paying attention to the emotional well-being of the team, then the team, again, is going to burn out. And that's a bad thing. They focus on that collaboration, and pretty much they put leadership second. So leadership is not important to them. It's important, but let's make sure my people are good first. Then the adaptive leader. That adaptive leader, they're that bridge builder. They know their stuff. They know what's going on. So not only are they technical, but then they also have that soft side to them, right? So they can take their skills and they can bridge a wonderful gap for their people. They hold their people accountable. So that's another thing. So if you have a team, and let's say a team of 10, 15 people, if somebody's not pulling their weight, that means that someone else is going to have to come up from the rear. And that makes people upset. So, but that adaptable leader, it just holds people accountable, and they're able to switch depending on the situation. Another leader that I like is the charismatic leader. So that's probably you two. You have the ability to inspire. You're high energy. you're very, very confident in your skills, even though I get it, imposter syndrome comes in sometimes, but you're still confident, and you have very strong convictions, very motivated to help others. So yeah, those charismatic leaders come in the room, everybody stop what they're doing, and they put their, all eyes on them. So
that's CD, not me.
Both of y'all.
Yeah, I think I would fall like more so. It's different because it kind of seems like with different projects you kind of adjust. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like with household projects, you kind of have to be that, checking in with your, kids' emotions and stuff like that. But at the same time, like in business, I'm more of the transactional leader. I'm like, hey, you guys do this, then I'll, move you to this commission, or, you do this and I'll give you a bonus here, and you do this, and, and also that laissez-faire, something like that. Yeah. So yeah, I think you kind of have to adapt, that's very interesting.
Definitely very interesting, man. I think one of the key things is basically just finding out where your strengths are as a leader, and then, like leaning on that, like what style works best for you. I think basically that's a good start with that. So where would one get started with even doing that? Like, I know you have some great resources on your site. Like, how do you even begin learning about your strengths as a leader, what to apply, what about like even the weaknesses? Like, okay, I'm weak in this area. Do you focus on strengthening the weaknesses, or do you just rely on the strengths? Or, so what types of information do you have in regards to that, like strengths and weaknesses as a leader, and how to apply what's best, or sometimes bouncing around from different styles, or how does that all play into being a good leader?
Yeah, so definitely with your weaknesses, because everyone has a weakness, right? So for me personally, this is how I look at it. You want to always try to strengthen your weaknesses, but if you are developing the right type of team, whether it's a project team, whether you're managing the team every day in an operation setting, there should be always someone who can help you with those weaknesses. Because it doesn't matter, just because you're leading the team does not mean that you can't lean on your team members, or on the people who you're leading, to step up when you are weak. So just for an example, on my last job, not only was I running projects, but I was managing a team, and I was managing a team of like 4 dudes. And I was like, oh God, technology. So I had to listen to all these crazy dude jokes. But look at Harold, he's like, yeah.
It happens. We were just having my wife and I was just having this conversation. It's like, you have to learn to deal with it. But,
right. Yeah. But it was someone, the 4 of them, for the things that I was missing, they could come in and they could help me. Like, I knew that if I had to step away, who I could assign to be the next in charge. I knew that if I needed like help with like pulling in like an additional resource, who I could count on to help me with that. Just then, letting me know, hey, today, Ty, you were kind of off today. You're not acting like yourself today. Whoever could bring me in. So you learn about your team. That's what I was saying, like with the servant leader, that's what they do. They learn about not only the team as a whole and get them to work together, but they learn about each individual. So it's, like having those one-on-one sessions with people to learn, their strengths and their weaknesses. So that they can step in and they can help you. But yeah, you always want to make sure that on the other side that you are always seeking knowledge, right? So if you seek knowledge as well, it's easier for you to identify your weaknesses and then work to strengthen those weaknesses. So you were asking CD about some resources. I didn't bring my books because I'm kind of like in a transitional period, but any books on emotional intelligence, and I can send you like a little toolkit that I have of books that are kind of outlined. Any books on emotional intelligence are highly effective. Any like John Maxwell, have you guys heard of him?
Yes.
So John Maxwell, he's very influential on the leadership side. I kind of just joined his team to be, like a John Maxwell speaker as well. But he has a lot of information about good leaders, not only who you should be as a leader, but again, developing yourself. You can't be a good leader until you know yourself. So anything John Maxwell, anything on emotional intelligence.
With that, man, I think it's time for the challenge.
Yeah, man.
It's time for the challenge. With every episode, we like to leave the audience with an actionable item, something that they can walk away from the show and actually implement into their lives. We want this show to be a positive addition to people's life, business, work, relationships, careers, whatever it is. So we like to give a challenge. So Tai, as the guest on the League of Hustlers today, what would you have the challenge be for the audience?
My challenge for you guys is just to go out and learn your leadership styles. Go take a leadership assessment. I can help you with that. That's a shameless plug.
Oh.
AskAcademyConsultants.com. You can reach out to me at any time, and I have a Calendly open, and I can help you to learn your leadership style. Also, with DISC, I gotta learn the acronym as well. But it just gives you the DISC assessment. Gives you an overview of who you are, not only in the work setting, but on your personal side as well. So, I can help you with all those things. AskAcademyConsultants.com. Go out and learn your leadership style so that you can be a powerful leader and create other leaders. That's what it's all about in this world today.
There you have it. Yeah, man. So that's AskAcademyConsultants.com, and you have a leadership assessment on the site, right?
They can contact me and we'll do it together. So it's not
okay.
But they schedule the time so that we can work together.
Wow. There you have it. We're bringing you the best, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah,
League of Hustlers. Yeah, I mean, not too many people do this. Not too many people are willing to share their time with you. All right, and this is an exclusive to the League of Hustlers. So we definitely appreciate you, Tai. Y'all check out the Ask Academy. Where can folks, real quick before this shuts off, where can folks find you online? Outside of the website.
Online, I have a Facebook page, Ask Academy Consultants, LinkedIn. I think it's Tai Cochran on LinkedIn. So okay. I hang out on LinkedIn most of the time. So it's fine with me.
Okay, cool. Well, thank you so much. League of Hustlers.
I'm so proud of you guys. Y'all are awesome.
We try to be. But anything else, CD? You good?
I think we're good.